Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another journaling on a budget video. So today what we're going to need is we are going to need a cutter, some scissors, some hole punches, and some circle punches. Everything needs to be round, so your hole punches need to be round. I have a small one and a large one, and I'm going to show you what we're making, or I'm going to make what we're making before I tell you what we're making. I think these are really fun. And so what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of cardboard. Now it's going to make a difference on what size your punch is. So this punch is a 1-inch punch. This is a 1-inch punch. So I'm going to want it to be about 3 inches. So I'm going to cut a square of about 3 inches. Now they don't absolutely have to be squares. They don't have to be now this one's a rectangle and we can use that one too. We'll actually use that one with our 7/8 inch punch. And then we're going to take our punch and we're going to just go all the way. No, we're not going to go all the way in on this one because that circle would be way up there. So we're going to go up about, let's say about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. Then we're going to come in on one side and we're going to want to make sure that we're about 1/4 of an inch away from here. And about 1/4 of an inch in, and we're going to put another one on this side. So we've got one coming in from each side. They don't have to be perfect as far as the distances at all. These do not have to be lined up. This is your bottom, this is your top. It looks just like a little face. Okay, now what are we going to do with this? We're going to take our scissors. We're going to start here at the top. And we're going to start at the edge, and we are going to come around. We're going to start about equal with the edge of the circle on the edge, and we are going to just round it off like this, just like that. And then we're going to want to make sure that there's not a point right here. I have a little point on the edge, and I don't want that. I want it to be rounded all the way around. So there we go. Get rid of that point. Now for me it's easier, instead of trying to go this way, I'm going to just flip it over. I'm going to do the same thing on this side of the circle. You don't exactly have to start even with this. That's just an approximation. You can start either way of that. And these do not all have to be perfect or the same. And so there we go. Now that's what we've got. Do you know what we're making? You probably know by now. You might have already known. I just think this is really cool. I was actually watching someone, I was watching Gail Agostinelli make some altered paper clips, and she altered a puzzle piece. And she had some big puzzle, I think it was paper clips she was doing. See, now they're not all the same. They don't have to be the same because puzzles aren't the same, but we are making our own puzzle piece. And as I looked at it, she had a larger one, probably about this size. And I thought, you know, when I first was looking, I had a hard time finding the kids' puzzles. I did find some. But I thought, I was just looking at it and I thought, you know what? We could make that. And there we go. We have made our own puzzle piece. And you can make them any size that you want. Let's get a white piece of paper here. So isn't that really cool? And like I said, let's see, where's the rectangle one? Let's do the rectangle one, because they don't have to be perfectly square. That's the cool thing about puzzles is, wait a minute, I don't want that one. This is a 7/8. It really doesn't matter the size of your circle. And the size of your circle doesn't have to depend on the size of your rectangle. You just want a little bit of a space here for all 3 circles. And then if you wind up it's too tall at the top, you don't like how tall it is at the top, you just cut the top off. And there we go. And so see, this one's a rectangle, but it's going to work just the same. And it's so simple. And you can go to any extreme with these. And I'm going to show you the extremes in just a second. Because I actually did it. My husband had his earphones on. He was listening to something on his phone. And I did one, and it turned out really good, the very first one that I did. And I was like, look, look. He like looks at me and goes, look, look. He's like, what are you doing? I said, look, I made my own puzzle piece. And there we go. We made our own puzzle piece. So now you say, well, you know, but they're all going to look the same. They don't have to. So let's do the same thing. We'll use the same size holes. And I'm going to just cut this down a little bit because it would be too big for that. How wide is this? 4.5 inches wide. All right. I have a 2-inch punch here. I think that this is a 2-inch punch. Okay, so this is an even bigger punch. So we're going to use this one. So I'm going to come up at the top. Just trying to, I was wondering if I'm going to have enough room to get the 2 holes. Actually, I don't think that's going to be big enough. So we won't use that one. We'll just use the 1-inch punch. Because I want to show you how to do one that is going to have a stick out part. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. And with this one, I'm going to go in. I'm going to put my 2 top holes first. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I am going to be fairly close to that top hole. I'm going to leave a space in here, and I'm going to put 2 more circles. Probably pretty much just go right underneath the ones that are there. That. Come over here and go like that. Okay, so this is our top. This is going to be our bottom. So for our bottom, let's see. I'm going to do the top first, just like we've done it for the other couple. And again, just make sure you don't have a little point when you round those off. If you have a point, it doesn't look as much like it seems really silly, but that little point kind of takes away from the fact that it's a puzzle piece. And there we go. Now, I'm going to cut this off in the middle. And just cut this off in the middle, just to get that out of my way. Okay, so that's out of my way. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come down from this circle and go around and around and come up back to about the middle of this circle. Just like that. And then just going to come, I'm going to do it from the outside because it's the easiest. I'm going to cut right to the top of that circle, just like that. And then you just want to make sure that those actually like touch each other so that you don't see like a gap. And there we go. Now we have the other type puzzle piece. Now I could have left more space between there. I could go in and make this more rounded if I want to, but you can make any kind that you want to. You just need a little bit of extra space to make the little pointy part. Okay, so now just quickly, just for the fun of it, let's go to extremes, okay? How about making a little tiny one? I have a hole punch here, and I don't know what size this hole punch is, but this hole punch is very small. I'll punch a hole and you'll see how small it is. So I'm just going to come up a little bit. That's the size of the hole. Alrighty, so I'm going to just cut myself just a bit of a square or a rectangle. I can always trim it up in a minute. And then I'm just going to come in from one side, just like we did with the others. Do the same thing over here. And like I said, they don't have to be perfect. See, these are not exactly lined up. They don't have to be, because puzzle pieces, when you put them together, the best puzzles are not perfect. The pieces are different. That's the easiest way to find them. I know I got a puzzle once where every single piece was exactly the same. That was the hardest puzzle to put together because you thought, you know, no matter what, the pieces fit together. So, my favorite pieces are the ones that are a little bit different. And they just really have that puzzle look. I just love them. And there we go. Now this one I got a little bit of an angle. You really kind of want to come down and have that little bit of a, you know, stick part down like that a little bit. But it really doesn't matter because, like I said, all puzzles are different. But look at how tiny that is. Isn't that cute? And then, since we're going to extremes, we'll keep that one there. And you can do it with your regular hole punch. You can do it with any size hole punch. Okay, I had this piece of paper out here for a reason. So, this, I believe, is a 4-inch hole punch. So let's just go in and make ourselves a really big, and then when you're doing all of this, oh, come on out of there. Oh, it'll come out next time. You're going to wind up with all of these little bits. Keep them for your embellishments. These ones are perfect to make your trading coins with. And there we go. And you know, when you start it this way, it's like, it doesn't really look like much. It's kind of like it's a piece of paper with holes in it. But they come out quite fun. Ooh. Okay. Well, this, I thought this was a piece of white cardstock. Well, this will be a fun puzzle piece. And if you're doing a piece of mixed media, like a canvas, a really big puzzle piece like this would be really cool on a large piece. Just want to get rid of that little point there. And our last cut. And there we go. Isn't that cool? You now have a puzzle piece that is 8.5 by 11 inches. I just love these. I hope that you enjoyed this video. So, because I really had fun with this. And, you know, in my family, we love puzzles and games and everything. So, you know, it just really, to me, it just really hit home. This is one just with a regular hole punch, just your regular hole punch. And so there's one like that. And this one was about 1 1/4 inches square to do that one. But like I said, you don't have to have any specific size. So, and then here is one that was with the regular hole punch. And then I just punched a hole here and here. And then, you know, came down and made my little rounded spot. So, and here's another teeny tiny one that was made with the little teeny tiny punch. So, and then, you know, you can make them out of anything. If you make them out of thin paper, you know, you'll have to glue them on something. But if you're planning on gluing them on something and you have a piece of plain, you know, regular paper that you want to put it on, they work. They work just fine. So here's one that I made on cardstock. And this one I just put some music paper on to start embellishing it. So anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I really had fun playing with these. And if you make some, I hope you have a good time with it too. Thank you very much for stopping by, and I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.